Imagine this. A young girl, bound to her wheelchair, faces the ultimate betrayal from her tormentors, only to rise above it all in a way that defies gravity itself. But what if I told you that by the end of this tale, she'll teach us all that true flight comes from within? Stick around, because this story of resilience and triumph will leave you inspired. And don't forget, if you're moved by tales like this, hit that like button and subscribe to the Kind Hearts Stories for more heartwarming journeys that lift the spirit. In the quaint coastal town of Eldridge, where the salty breeze whispered secrets through the pines and the cliffs overlooked a vast, unforgiving ocean, lived a girl named Alara. At just 16, she had already faced more storms than most endure in a lifetime. Born with a rare condition that left her legs unresponsive, Alara navigated the world from her wheelchair, a trusty companion she affectionately called Wings. It wasn't just a mode of transport, it was her freedom, her shield against the cruel stares and whispers that followed her like shadows. School was her battlefield, where a group of bullies, led by the arrogant Jax and his sneering sidekicks, saw her vulnerability as an invitation to unleash their insecurities. They mocked her relentlessly, tripping her wheels in the hallways, stealing her books, and spreading rumors that painted her as fragile and unworthy. Alara's days blurred into a haze of isolation, her bright blue eyes often dimmed by unshed tears. But deep inside, a spark flickered, a quiet determination fueled by her late mother's words: "The body may falter, but the soul can soar." At home, in the sanctuary of her attic room overlooking the cliffs, Alara discovered a hidden talent. She began sketching birds in flight, their wings slicing through the air with effortless grace. What started as doodles evolved into intricate designs for gliders and parachutes, inspired by online tutorials and books on aerodynamics she devoured late into the night. Her father, a mechanic with calloused hands and a weary heart, noticed her passion and helped her build prototypes from scrap metal and fabric. "You're building more than toys, kiddo," he'd say, his voice thick with pride. "You're building hope." As the bullying escalated, Jax's crew cornered Alara one fateful afternoon near the cliff's edge during a school outing. The wind howled like a warning, but their laughter drowned it out. "Let's see how far your precious chair can fly," Jax sneered, his eyes gleaming with malice. With a shove, they sent Wings tumbling over the precipice, crashing against the rocks below in a twisted heap. Alara's heart shattered with the sound, her world crumbling as she sat there, helpless and exposed. The bullies fled, their jeers echoing in her ears, leaving her stranded under a darkening sky. But in that moment of despair, something ignited within her, a resolve forged in the fires of adversity. She remembered her sketches, her secret experiments with lightweight gliders hidden in her backpack. As rain began to fall, mixing with her tears, Alara whispered to herself, "It's time to learn to fly." With trembling hands, she assembled a makeshift harness from her prototypes, her mind racing through calculations of wind speed and trajectory. The cliff loomed like a challenge, and for the first time, Alara saw it not as an end, but as a beginning. Night fell over Eldridge like a heavy curtain, but Alara's spirit burned brighter than the stars piercing the clouds. Stranded on the cliff's edge, with no wheelchair and no immediate rescue, she faced the abyss that had claimed her wings. Panic clawed at her throat, but she pushed it down, drawing on the inner strength she'd cultivated in solitude. Her glider, a compact invention of silk and aluminum rods, unfolded like a promise in the moonlight. It wasn't perfect, far from the polished designs of professionals, but it was hers, born from countless failures and quiet victories in her attic. As the wind picked up, whipping her hair like wild flames, Alara strapped herself in, her useless legs dangling but her heart pounding with purpose. "This is for you, Mom," she murmured, envisioning her mother's encouraging smile. With a deep breath, she propelled herself forward using her arms, the glider catching the updraft like a bird taking wing. For a terrifying second, she plummeted, the ocean roaring below like a hungry beast. Then, miracle of miracles, the air lifted her, carrying her aloft in a graceful arc. She was flying, truly flying, gliding over the waves that had swallowed her wheelchair, the town lights twinkling like distant fireflies. Freedom rushed through her veins, erasing the years of doubt and pain. Word of the incident spread like wildfire. The Bullies act was captured on a classmate's phone, exposing their cruelty to the world. Jax and his crew faced suspension, their bravado crumbling under the weight of consequences. But Alara's story didn't end in vengeance, it blossomed into inspiration. Rescued by search teams alerted by her father, she returned home a hero, her glider intact and her resolve unbreakable. News outlets clamored for interviews, dubbing her the girl who learned to fly. Schools invited her to speak, where she shared her journey, emphasizing that true bullies are the fears we let chain us down. My wheelchair was my cage, she'd say, her voice steady and strong, but I built my own wings. Years later, Alara founded a foundation for disabled youth, teaching engineering and adaptive sports, turning cliffs into launchpads for dreams. Jax, reformed by shame and time, even volunteered, his apologies a bridge to redemption. Eldridge transformed, its cliffs now a symbol of triumph rather than tragedy. Alara's flight wasn't just physical, it was a soaring of the soul, proving that when pushed to the edge, we can choose to fall or to fly. And in that choice lies our greatest power. What an incredible tale of overcoming the odds, right? If this story touched your heart, show some love by liking this video and subscribing to the Kind Hearts Stories. We've got more uplifting narratives waiting to inspire you every day.